Hello, Facebook Ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Hello, guys. Another podcast. This is the last podcast before I'm going to take a break, basically, and some vacation. But we're going to discuss this on the podcast and the future plans. Today, we're going to discuss about. This is podcast number 80. I hope that in the next podcast we will be 100k subs, and we're going to start podcast 81 with 100k subs. And I'm really happy for that, as I told you in other podcasts. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about the results that I see on the ad accounts, a little bit about the plans of the podcast and what's going to happen on the next year and from September. Consumer primary reasons for following a brand from Sprout Social. There was a very nice thing over there, why people follow brands. And then we have some dates that we are going to have a little bit of difficult CPMs because of the US elections. Of course, the things have changed after the failed attempt. So yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen there. And the next thing is that we're going to have, as always, your questions, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So we have 32 of your questions, so stay until the end and we're going to answer everything. If you're here for your question, I'm going to answer them with the row that you have seen them appearing into your screen. So let's start. First of all, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the results. I want to tell you that from what I see on my ad accounts, they're doing really well, and I'm scaling some of my ad accounts right now. The results are good. From people that I know, they have some ups and downs across different ad accounts, and they had some difficult previous days. But for sure, they're seeing also some push in several of their accounts. So I think it's a period that if you're seeing good results, maybe you need to push a little bit to scale. Plans. I'm stopping the podcasts. This is the last one. We're not going to do any on August, and most probably we're going to skip either the first or the first 2 weeks, most probably only the first week of September. I have the need of going a little bit away, somewhere nice to relax a little bit. Because it has been a crazy year again with many other accounts and all of that. I'm not complaining. I really like it, but I think it's going to do good also to you to, miss me a little bit, I guess. Of course, I'm going to have my videos that everything is planned, and I have content that is going to always go live, 2 videos per week. And there's really good content because it's mostly based on ad accounts and things that I'm seeing there. And I think that you're going to enjoy it because I think that I have some really good content over there that I video shooted. And today I think I'm going to video shoot another 2-3 videos. So I think during your vacation, you're going to see some of my videos, and I hope that it's going to be a good content for you during your vacation. Now, let's talk a little bit about Sprout Social and something that I have seen there. It's the consumer's primary reason for following a brand. I'm going to put this print screen over here. 60% to stay informed about new products or services, which makes sense. You're on the newsletter of these companies. 46% to have access to exclusive deals or promotions. 45% the content they post is enjoyable and entertaining. 28% to engage with community or customers. 21% because their values or mission aligns with mine. As you can see, the biggest percentage of people, they want to stay on the loop for new products For example, there's a fashion brand, they want to stay on the loop for the new collections if they like the brand, or they want to have access to exclusive deals. I'm putting this here in terms of you, if you have an e-commerce store and you want to take some ideas on how to engage more with your customers, this is why people are staying in most of the cases with brands, and maybe you should do something which is going to align with the first or the first three. Next one, there are some US dates that I think we're going to have some crazy CPMs. I'm going to analyze more our strategy about CPMs and stuff from the podcast that are going to start on September. But for now, we know that because of the elections and everything that's happening in the United States, we're going to have a little bit of higher CPMs that might affect us because of the political ads. August 19 to 23, there's going to be a demographic national convention week. I do believe there's going to be inflation results on that period, not inflation on CPMs on that period and worse results. We have the debate week on 9 to 13 of September, which is also going to be a little bit, promotion, why it's going to have a lot. And November 1 to 8, we have the lead-up window from the election, which means that we're going to have the election and all of that, and the CPMs are going to be high. Just save the dates so that you can know that if you see some crazy results on that period, maybe you should not panic, or maybe you should try to control it a little bit with the budget instead of you start panicking and start closing campaigns or not knowing what is happening. This is something that we're going to go through together with the podcast and stuff. I'm going to tell you my opinion on what I see. And I hope that we're going to overcome this, because it's a first time for me also to have elections, this kind of elections also, after all the things that have happened so close to Black Friday. We had the previous one, but they were over by September. So with Biden election, it was over by September. Now we have at the start of November the election, so it's going to be difficult. I do think though that it's going to be a really good Black Friday period, but of course it's going to be difficult before the Black Friday because of the high CPMs, which is not going to help us a lot in establishing evergreen campaigns that are going to be inflated during the Black Friday period, or having issues with maintaining budgets for all of us that we want to actually scale during Black Friday periods, because we consider them attack periods and so on. Now, let's go to your questions. Let's start with the first one. As you can understand, this podcast is going to be a little bit more relaxed because I'm already in the mood of vacation. We have this one. Well, it seems like the whole Google search, say the Pixel, resets after 180 days, but I wanted to see your view experience about it. The Pixel doesn't reset. You cannot create custom audiences, because if the custom audience is having data from 180 days, basically you're not going to have any data to create any custom audience. But the Pixel data stays there. I know that from Pixels that they were inactive, and when you use them again in another account, they were running smoothly with broad targeting and stuff without needing to do interest again, which is also an answer to people saying that Pixels don't get trained. A summer product in the Pixel I started last summer is currently working really great right now, but 3 to 5 days before I launched the conversion, campaign this summer. I did run a traffic campaign to freshen up the Pixel, but not sure if the traffic campaign specifically helped with that. Traffic campaigns are useless. They're not going to help you at all. It's junk traffic. Do you have a video about this traffic campaign and Pixel? I'm not going to have a video about a traffic campaign and helping the Pixel because I don't believe in it. But for sure I can tell you that the data that the Pixel has, they stay there, unless if your demographic is going to change in 2-3 years and it's not relevant again with the product that you are selling, then you should be fine and your Pixel keeps the data. Of course, in 180 days, you don't have any more stored custom for the custom audiences, because you can keep custom audience up to 108 days. So if it's inactive on that period, you cannot have any custom audiences. But still you can do audiences like 365 days of people who engage with social media like Facebook and Instagram. and you can have some custom audiences to start from there, maybe with retargeting and so on, instead of doing traffic ads. Next one. Thanks for the video, Konstantinos is my name. What attribution window do you use most? Only one or a mix of them? 1 day view, 7 days click, 7 days click, yeah, etc. Thank you. So what I'm using mostly is 7 days click, 1 day view, because after iOS we are having a problem with the data, which means that we don't have enough data for us to optimize. That's why a lot of times you see people saying that before iOS they were having good results with Facebook and they don't have any more. For that reason, I want to use as many data as I can in order to optimize. Secondly, for smaller ad accounts that they don't have big budgets, it's not okay to just optimize with 1 day. But I have used 1 day on some cases. For example, if I have very big budgets and I want to optimize daily, or with cost caps sometimes, but this is a completely different discussion. What I'm using on normal campaigns and not on exceptions is 7 days click, 1 day view. I will use 1 day click, 1 day view only for very big budgets or for trying to spend a lot with cost caps with 1 day view. But even now in many accounts with cost caps, I'm just using 7 days click, 1 day view because I want to have more data. Next one. Hi Konstantinos, it would be great if you have any direction on these two topics. Does it make sense to test different ad sets for retargeting with different statics in the same CBO? It doesn't make any sense to have a CBO on your retargeting, because the retargeting is not a broad audience, it's a really defined audience. So if you have a retargeting of people who visited your website and a retargeting of people who purchased, for example, 2 ad sets, there's no point of actually using these 2 audiences to compete with each other because they're already vetted audiences. They're audiences that they have already been through your funnel and all of that. By just doing cold traffic ads, you have already you have these audiences which are defined and they're considered warm traffic. So there's no point of competing, of making 2 ad sets that they have warm traffic to compete with each other. For example, one ad set with carousel and another ad set with static in the same CBO for retargeting. No, I wouldn't do that. If you want, you can do ABOs for retargeting and have your different assets there in order to test them. I do get the point of not mixing them in the same because the carousel is going to take more budget comparing to a static image. So if you want to separate your different creatives, you can actually go and you can do 2 different ad sets in an ABO instead of CBO. There's no point of making them compete with each other. Scenario where there is an ad set with 2 creatives and one is doing good and the other one is not doing well. Is it okay to add new creative within this ad set and switch the bad one off? Or by doing this, we risk ruining also the performance of the good one. Now, you know my opinion about not adding new creatives in a working ad set or in a working CBO or in a working Advanced Plus. The exception is the retargeting. For the same reason that I'm telling you that I don't want to run CBO because it's a defined audience, for the same reason I'm not afraid if this ad set is going to reset, because it's a defined audience and I don't care if it's going to reset. It's going to be again the same hot pocket. So I treat it like an already formed hot pocket that I don't care if it's going to reset because it's going to target again the same strict small audience. For that reason, you can go and you can add other creatives there. First of all, I just don't see the point of touching something that is working. So if something is working and you have already one ad that is working and you close the other one, what's the point of adding more than just shuffling the cards again? Test it in another ad if you want. Check also the frequencies so that you're not going to be overdoing a lot of retargeting. And the other thing is that in any other case, I would tell you that the budget has already been distributed and stuff, but I don't care so much about that on retargeting because I'm not afraid of losing my optimization and all of that because it's a very small audience and defined warm audience. So I would tell you that you can go and you can add other creatives. You can change your creatives if you think that they have been used for a very long period without relaunching the campaign. Just use it as it is. My only disagreement here is that I wouldn't add something that is working. I would just do another ad set with a smaller budget to test my other creatives. but not because the budget is already distributed and stuff, just because I don't like to touch things that are working. Now, if we talk about cold traffic ads, CBO's advancements, I wouldn't touch it. I have videos that I'm explaining why, because the budget has already been distributed, because you're going to ruin the balance that you have already and all of that. Hi Costa, we have launched our first ads yesterday. There are UGC, I did CBO Broad, one ad set, different hooks of one video, €50 budget, Netherlands, Belgium. Now we're not getting any ad to cards. For how long do you think we can run it before killing, and in what way should we better test what works for us? So in a new ad account, imagine that you're just testing until you find something that's working. And if for a long period you're testing and nothing is working, then you have to start reevaluating if your product is good, if your offer, if your landing pages and all of that is good. Also, you can start seeing your cost per unique click, CTR and all of that to understand if your creatives are good and you're getting enough traffic. So don't expect, for example, to train your pixel and then instead of having 0.5 ROAS, you're going to have 5. It's not going to happen. Over here, we're talking about a new ad account with 0 results and you're getting not even add to cards. I would close this one in the first 48 hours easily. And I would just try something else until I find something that at least gets an add to cart. Okay, now we get an add to cart. Let's try to get checkouts. Let's try to get purchases and so on. This is what I would do. And I would try all of the different things, all of my videos from other people that they're showing different strategies, whatever is going to work in your ad account, because it's a new ad account and there's no point of keeping something that's not working. If it doesn't work in the first 48 hours, which is already being boosted by Meta to give you some better results so that you can start your optimization, then it's not going to work on 7 days or 10 days. Now, I need to also point out here that maybe your budget is wrong also. If you're selling something for $300 and you're putting 50, maybe you're not spending enough to get that sale, but on the other hand, at least you would get an add to cart or something else. So getting 0 add to cards, it's a very hard indication that either you are targeting or your idea or your creatives are wrong or your product and final. So at this point, you don't know, you just test until you start from somewhere and try to improve from there. So be very strict because it's a new ad account and you don't have any results yet. Hello Constantine, I have a question about optimization. I have an advanced shopping campaign, which the leading ad in maximum period 30 days has ROAS 1.93, last 14 days ROAS of 2, but last 7 days ROAS of 0.8. My break-even ROAS is 1.4 to 1.45. Should I keep it running more days before I make a decision or take action? I think you should keep it a little bit more. Don't be disappointed just right away. And yeah. If in the maximum period you see that it's going to become unprofitable and stuff, you can turn it off so that you can avoid losing money at least on the maximum period. But yeah, 7 days can be some bad results and maybe it's going to recover. So give it some time, I guess, since in the last 14 days it was doing well. Now, if you give it another 3 days and it's still doing bad, you have to reconsider of doing the optimization of the campaign again or relaunching it or whatever. Konstantinos, thanks. I did DCT, Dynamic Creative testing and found winning creative, headline and text. Now I'm running CBO with Crazy Method. Let's see how it goes. Getting some sales with 1 ROAS, 10 purchases in Pixel. Want to test more, but my daily ad spend is limited to 50. Now, the reason that I'm using this post over here is because if you're having 10 sales on your Pixel, how come you're saying that this ad that you found, for example, is winning? It's not a winner ad. Okay, in order for you to take something, I don't care, by the way, if the Crazy Method is going to fail for you. I'm not saying it for that. But I'm saying that you shouldn't have run Crazy Method over here, because if you have only 10 sales into your Pixel, maybe you got 3 or 4 sales in an ad and you think that it's a winning ad. This is not a winning ad. A winning ad is one ad that's having a lot of volume, and it has also a lot of spend, and it has a lot of volume and the ROAS that you want with this high volume. Crazy Method is a scaling method, okay? And in order for you to use it, you need to have something that looks like it has to be scaled. So it needs to have also volume. If you have 10 sales into your Pixel, that means that this ad that you're referring to or ad set is not a winning ad set. It just got some sales, and just because you're a beginner, you think that it's a winning ad set. It needs more than that. in order to take it to crazy method. And also, if you don't have the budget and you have only 50, don't run a crazy method. You don't have to run a crazy method. Just focus in one ad set until you have some results, and maybe you're going to train your pixel. And then when you have more budget, you can always try to spend more. Next one. I lost a lot of time believing the statement. By the way, this week I have done one video that is talking about interests, and that I'm still using it in some other accounts that are working, while there are other people that are saying that whoever is using interest in 2024 is a stupid person, or they don't know how to do Facebook ads. The problem here is that all of these people, they're approaching Facebook ads from the perspective of doing the same thing across all of the ad accounts, which I consider that it's really, really wrong. And there are ad accounts that still you have to use interest or whatever. I'm not saying that the ultimate goal of each ad account is not to go to the broad targeting, but all I'm saying is that by just using interest doesn't make you stupid, and you're going to see several comments that they're actually agreeing with me. So I lost a lot of time believing the statement of one guru who says over and over that Meta will tax you for using any interest or targeting other than broad. Thank you very much for not mentioning anyone here. You convinced me to test the CPMs, and I was surprised to learn that what he's saying is completely untrue, no matter how many times he repeats it. Higher CTR, lower CPA on interest on a newer account. I wonder if they ever test the things they claim. Thankfully you do, and share the facts with us. So let's say that they don't test the things that they say. It's your responsibility to test the things that they say instead of just believing them blindly. And I'm also encouraging anyone who is listening or watching my videos to do the same. Just because I'm saying it, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. You go and you test it on your ad account. I'm just here to stimulate you. I'm just here to tell you that I have seen this thing that is working for me. Nothing more, okay? We don't have any deal, and whatever you are listening, you should not believe it. You should just test it, because maybe it's not going to work into your ad account, or it is going to work into your ad account. So I think that there is also your responsibility. Next one. Hey Konstantinos, a big thanks for all the knowledge. I'm going through your videos and taking notes. Good for you. Thank you very much. I have a strong Pixel 1K sales from last year in autumn when I was running a great product, and the Pixel has been inactive since January 2024, since the product is an autumn-winter product. Will the Pixel and all the data reset if it's inactive over 6 months? The Pixel is not going to reset. You're not going to have custom audiences, but you can always start, as I said. A guy told me that, but I don't know if it's true. I don't think it's true from my experience with other Pixels. I think you're going to be fine. And you can always start with your custom audiences from Instagram and Facebook engagers, which are 365 days. 365 days. Next one. Hi again, Konstantinos. Does CBO work better when targeting one country? By the way, on the previous question, did you close your website? Because your website is still going to continue getting some data. Now, if you closed it and you removed the pixel and stuff, yeah, it's not bad. But if or if you go and you change the website or whatever, yes, you might have issues. But not if you kept it live and all of that. You were just not running ads, it's going to be fine. Hi again, Konstantinos. Does CBO work better when targeting one country via stacked countries? I'm not sure if you have a video on it already. Thanks in advance. I don't have a video because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because it's not needed, okay? You can do CBO with worldwide, you can do CBO with 2 countries, 3 countries and stuff. The only thing that you should look is the way that you're stacking them. So if you use USA with many small countries, it's going to spend most of the money on the USA because it's a bigger audience. That's all the things that you need to care about. From your experience, with what European countries have you seen produce more sales with English ads? Another question that you're trying to find a pattern. There are no patterns, okay? There are completely different sales between stores and all of that. If you tell me which are the ad accounts that I usually see scaling more and stuff, it's the ad accounts that are targeting Germany, Austria, Switzerland. This is one cluster. Then we have United Kingdom, and I have seen very good results in Netherlands and Denmark. For some reason, nobody from Sweden, Finland, they don't talk to me. I don't have ad accounts from there. I had in the past one or two, but in general, I don't see ad accounts there. I don't know why. Maybe there is someone who is in the local language who is taking all of them ad accounts. I don't know. But yeah, these are the main ones that I have seen. And yes, there are some success in France. I have seen good ad accounts. I have seen good ad accounts in Spain, in Portugal, in Italy, even in Greece. So it really depends on the product, you know. But one of the major markets is Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and UK for sure. Next one. I have around 8 years agency experience, also 5 years freelance, and every time I've audited accounts, whether other agencies we've won clients, or when I joined, they all have absolute toxic structures next to zero optimization. I agree. I had the same experience with an Australian, one of the top agencies, that I went to the ad account and they were just running traffic ads or optimizing for link clicks and then doing retargeting, and it wasn't working at all. And this is making my life easy because basically I just did conversion ads for sales and they worked. So their stupidity and their stupid one-trick pony strategy for all the ad accounts is actually helping us to stand out from all of this bullshit. And that's also what has convinced me to say that you should not just follow one blueprint and all of that in all of the ad accounts, because every ad account is different. I think it's a mix of lack of care, lack of ability, lack of passion from employees to learn, and lack of understanding of the client. Clients assume they're paying big money, they'll get the best. It's in fact the opposite. I'm a senior role and we're looking to hire. I will only hire people with e-commerce and freelance experience because you learn so much and a lot faster. Agencies are completely stagnant 90% of the time. I actually care and want to give value because they pay so much. In reality, if I was them, I would never hire an agency. As a small, medium-sized company, the actual core of what we are paying for results is neglected, or at least not pushed to the max. It's covered by jargon, reports, calls, etc. Clients don't actually know what the word optimization truly means, in my opinion. And I have exactly the same opinion. Now, I'm really happy that in my channel, there are people like you watching the content with your experience and you agree with me. That's the biggest validation that I can get. I want to have also people that they don't have a lot of experience because we are helping, but I really want to have also people with higher level and understanding more for Facebook ads, because this is challenging for me, and maybe it can be a comment that's going to say below, I don't agree with you, or maybe it's going to be this and that, and I can debate with people on another level about the things that I have seen. So I'm really happy when I see people with your level coming to my YouTube channel and liking the content, even if with your experience you're just learning something new every 10 videos. I still think that I'm really happy that you're here and you're watching my content, and I hope that you also like it. As I can understand from your message, you like it, and I'm really happy for that. And I really want more people like you to be part of my community so that we can all grow together and become better on Facebook ads. So you can just duplicate the same ad set with the same creatives multiple times in a CBO. That's the crazy method, if you're asking me, okay? So yes, you can duplicate the same ad set with the same creatives multiple times, John, in a CBO, and that's a crazy method. Whoever doesn't know the crazy method, they can go and they can watch the video. Next one, when launching a campaign, do you recommend scheduling each campaign at 6 a.m. for each targeted country? How much does grouping different time zone together affect performance? Thanks, legend. Thank you very much. So I prefer to have 6 a.m. Now, if the time zone, for example, is for 6 a.m. there, it's going to be 10 p.m. on the time zone of the other account, you can put it at 12 o'clock, which resets. So you have to check also when the other account resets and the time zone of the other account if you run worldwide. The ideal is to have different ad accounts for the different time zones, But if you ask me, time zones is one of the least things that I care about when I'm grouping, because I care more about the demographics and I care more about sizes of the countries and language mostly. So the time zone is something that I'm not looking a lot, and I can, bypass it. And but if we want to talk technically, it's correct to have the time zone of the country that you want to run into your ad account if you want to be correct 100% for the prime hours and the reset of the ads. That's all I had, guys. I hope that you're going to have some really nice vacation. I hope that I am going to have some really nice vacation and I'm going to relax, because I'm coming strong for the Black Friday on September, and from the next year I'm going to renew the whole course, and I'm going to push hard so that we can teach more and more people Facebook ads. Now that I have all of this credibility from you and I know that I'm not crazy. I will see you guys on September. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.